approaching. This is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuang.
I've been waiting for you, returnee from
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in... At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the... As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait! Was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstanding. I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue, even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight? That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were... But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvio was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, Traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
Huh?
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our prep...
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Be at ease, you two. Make yourself...
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes...
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, Traveler? You're rather special, really. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching... You'd pick Kuching? Nah, I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow our... Indeed. It seems that you understood what I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their... Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for their rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other...
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return.
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please. And you may...
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that! One of the sheets on that wall! Don't look at Paimon like that! One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices! Just imagine. How much more... Let's grab one! The biggest one! Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the... La 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 la. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Sigil of permission, something, Fatui, research. Aw, that doesn't sound like This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of classified... Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue. Spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the Sigil of Permission? Paimon... Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out. Oh, well, should we not... Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if... before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to...
Don't waste my time.
Brace yourself.
Low. Crisp.
Brace yourself.
I will end you. It's time to freeze. You're not going anywhere. Chill to the bone. Let's not waste time.
Yahoo!
Let's end this quickly.
Yahoo! Ready, steady, go! Time for takeoff. Yahoo! What?
You're not going anywhere. Freshness preserved.
Give up. Your life is mine.
Let's end this quickly. Cooked food. Disgusting. Let's end this quickly.
Let's dance! Go, Rubber, go!
Let's end this quickly. This is bad.
Brace yourself. Think you can get away?
I guess this is it.
Give up.
Harden up.
Submit.
Use that. This is trouble.
Brace yourself.
The loneliness.
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper, too. What are the... Paimon's seen this pattern. Oh, Paimon knows. But how did a relic of your death die end up in the hands of someone like Child? Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the art. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission and being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, The plot thickens. Alright, that's the last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour. Let's go!
Guess we can rest a bit.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk about with her?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly. Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Oh, so you also met with Keqing then? What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even...
No, indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Though they are both members of the Qixing, although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever... It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What?
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they are...
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Dihua Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingse Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flower.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were... Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very... Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. No, I need you to sing to them. Singing to the flowers will make them more fragrant.
So how good is your singing? Really?
We'll only know once he starts singing.
Time to sing whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
What? The flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because they sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Lewis? Brace yourself. Let's play. Time for takeoff. Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value.
Well, that's nice and all, but
Unfortunately, no.
that's so lame. Excuse me. Are you searching for glaze lilies? Oh, hey! It's... What's-her-face?
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name. Ah, that reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we...
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? What?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry, we shouldn't have...
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. He is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has...
Huh? Did you just...
Yes, I am a mix of human and Qilin. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation. I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just...
We dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your step?
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, if you would excuse me, I should return to my work.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for... Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to...
Yeah, Paimon can order...
I've had enough ventures, and beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, so you must be careful to take the time to step back and
Wow. See? Alright, I think it's about time...
This atmosphere is highly abnormal. It seems as though something big has happened.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng funeral. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times.
Desperate time?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the... However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current...
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue...
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your soul? Neither path is an easy...
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gate.
Things are taking a turn for the... I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at... Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion...
Having connection... So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see, he must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to... But where could we find... Where would he go at a time like this?
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? This is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. But even if we can't take it, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora, it's like a dream come true. Oh, right. It's quiet. Too quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon, quick! We have to go make sure...
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. Either way, we now come to the battle.
Battle? So
You could... When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a...
we won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play a... Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway. Fighting talk, I love it! Now... This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Run all you
Let
like.
night fall!
Cowering already? Passable effort. Try this.
Let's play!
Poor timing. You're wide open. A clear shot. So quick to flee. Not all you like.
Go, Rubber, go!
Passable effort. You've made some progress. Guess I should take you more seriously. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. Raging Tide! No use hiding back there. Gotcha.
Here we go! Time for takeoff!
You've got some skills. Gotcha.
La la la! Ha!
Something else catch your eye? Raging Tide! No use hiding back there! You've got some skills.
Here we go!
Gotcha. I'll crush you.
Let the show begin!
Something else catch your eye? My turn. My flame has been extinguished. Tide!
Let the show begin!
Gotcha. You've got some skills. Where did I go wrong?
looked impressive enough. This is where all of Tibet's more. Oh, so it's a but even if we can, or better yet, take a nap on. Oh, right. It's quiet. Huh? Look! What happened? Uh-oh. Quick! We have to.
You've already fulfilled your...
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but... where? If it weren't for that Stop.
So you've been planning?
As one... She will get that which she designed. I'm not... The time for discussion. Either way. The battle.
Battle?
Instead of confronting you when she faces a but as for me...
We won't let what happened...
Oh! Besides, you could never... Fighting talk, This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got! So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint!
Let night fall! Let's play!
How unbecoming! You've made some progress. Poor timing. Celestial Voyager! Not bad, not bad. So quick to flee. Guess I should take you more seriously. Haha, good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. No use hiding back there. Gotcha.
Oh, no! My lyre is broken.
Gotcha.
Oh, no! My lyre is broken.
You got some skills. My turn. All you do is retribution. Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You, You beat me to it, didn't you?
This is going to cost you! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Retribution!
Let the show begin! Let's dance!
Die here. Where did I go wrong?
Go, Barbara, go! Go, Barbara, go! Go, Barbara, go!
Die.
Let the show begin! La la la! Ha ha ha!
Retribution!
telling me you went.
Look! Child's back to normal.
Well then, it seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through, and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to...
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest, given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say, it seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are weaker than I. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think otherwise. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we... Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Lele.
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend... Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pin in Paimon's...
It's not just you. We've got new Millelith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people, which is why we must stop that monster before...
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? So will the power of the Chising, Millelith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that...
We've already discussed this together, and our
What? Wait,
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it peaked there. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista, and...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins next. Yep.
Manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millelith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Looks like I went too far.
Think you can get away?
This should be fun.
Oz, reveal!
No slacking off!
Brace yourself.
Not breaking a sweat! It isn't time for a break yet! My work finished. Have a load of this. Cook this through.
That is Osial's divine power. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How dare they?
Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
It's not this time.
Yeah, what a play. The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many between you!
Were you around this where you can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is dreadful energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in Julian Cars. Whoa! It's Madame Ping's shockwave. This granny's really strong.
Retribution!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
You can't run! Flash free!
Killjoy!
Looks like This should be fun! My duty at an end.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
You are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
My royal decree. Yahoo!
No slacking off! My duty!
Look at me.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
This is it.
This?
Over here.
Descent!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Think you can get away?
It isn't time for a break yet. My work finished. Let's roll. Harden up. Slow. Looks like I
Think you can get
went
away?
too far.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrade! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to... The effects of the Sigil of Permit... It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex...
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have...
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiation. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today.
Oh?
3,700 years. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens.
Are you questioning our means of protecting...
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a...
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearn to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Ark. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such...
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the...
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this...
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful... When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be...
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue...
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons. Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again... Fair enough.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not...
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well. Oh, right! It's nice that we've... Child wanted to unleash the god, but we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of... Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't this... Strongest lead we have... the Adeptilus rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshem Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid—
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you—
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank— Last time we saw Zhongli was— Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time— We had better go and make—
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the— Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bar— Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was—
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2—
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted—
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything— Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may vary— The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think—
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind, then—
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and...
gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right. Which is why I continued.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine power?
Of course. And it would have been all too just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserve... The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate, and hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence. For all the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me?
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter.
Fine. I'll meet you there.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us,
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made... My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa, you uncover that answer for yourself.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean...
Yes, and to think that this happened right...
Say, do you think the person who assassinated...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person...
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use.
Well, since we're going through with this... So Rex Lapis is real... Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard...
The Fatui?
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights...
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to gods and adepti live glorious lives. But both light and rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how... Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this is... Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But, did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed him? Exactly, right? Look, it's Ningguang and Kuchi.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end...
3,700 years of contracts burnt.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But
the long, unending dream of our...
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn... Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contract?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she...
Traveler.
Yikes! She...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
But it's... well, that...
As for...
Perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never... And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease? After laying down the burden I have borne for 3,000... Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue Kiosk. Are you sure you can afford...
You're right. I do lack the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lived...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange not... The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true.
Paimon thinks that we should make a...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me...
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon does... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate... This is what visions are. Magical
That's how people...
But starting from last year, the Raiden...
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the thousand-armed...
They want to seize visions? But why? Aren't visions...
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be...
Whoa!
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any... The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know? That was a good one. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager, I hinted as much to the Adepta. How did I accomplish that, you ask? All right then. Was there anything else you...
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniable. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign... Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the... Kuching is absolutely right in saying... Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, could the original person who brought up the... All right then. Was there anything else?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your Gnosis, since Morax is dead... Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating more...
This is terrible! We're all about...
Yes, this is... Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wished? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed...
I still have a lot to do with the guild. How about...
Brace yourselves.
Kids?
By royal decree!
Brace yourselves. Think you can get away? Brace yourself. Think you can get away? Brace yourself.
Retribution!
Think you can get away? Yahoo! By royal decree. Think you can get away? Brace it!
Add Ash.
You have already proven your determination. Well then, it is now time for you to witness my resolve. Not bad. Be it chess or combat, you always seem to surprise me. Working with you is quite the novelty. So, I look forward to continuing to work with you, partner.
Which should I choose?
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
Jewels from Liyue. Come take a look.
Anything the knights can do?